Howdy, howdy, howdy. How are y'all doing? Today is chest and triceps day, as in the title. And personally, I hyperextended my neck a little bit. So, we gotta go a little lighter. My neck is feeling good, like right here. I feel kind of tension, right? Feel pain a little bit. Right there, I feel pain. Pain. Little pain. Right? So, it's not super bad. So, but what I'm saying is, I'm going to listen to my body. If something doesn't feel right, then I'm not going to do it, right? I kind of did my research. I'm not going to do incline benches. I'm going to do a lot of flying today. So, it'll be probably just mainly a fly day, to be honest. Maybe one pressing, but just like I said, just a fly day in general, you know? Because, I mean, if a fly feels weird, which it doesn't right now, I should be fine, right? So, it might just be a really short chest day, but we'll kind of see. We'll kind of see. It just sucks, though, because any type of injury sucks. Doesn't matter what kind of injury or how bad it is. If it kind of controls your day a little bit, it kind of sucks. Because it takes away from what you could actually do fully. Because, like, today, I want to, like, incline bench and do all that other crap, but I can't today, right? Because, for one, that would be unsmart of me. And two, well, there's other alternatives, right? I can still hit the same muscle groups I want to hit, just a different option, you know? So we might hit, like, one set of pressing and then do, like, 6 sets, 7 sets of flying. Maybe even less than that. So it might just be, like, a 6-set day, 5-set day for chest, you know? Really depending on how my neck feels and everything during it. So, I always talk about make sure you're pushing yourself to the limits and everything, but make sure you're also listening to your body. If something genuinely hurts, like if it's like not a soreness but an actual just pain, listen to your body first, more than anything. Because the thing that sucks about I'm not going to say it sucks about my life, but the choices I make or the job I work is a physical job. So something like this, it's not just like, oh, I'll still go to work. I just got to kind of, sit at my desk job and, keep my neck at a certain position, No, I work physically. So everything I do is manual labor. So I just got to be smart, because I need a way of income, But we're going to just mainly, like I said, kind of figure out what feels good and everything. Like I did shoulders yesterday, the rest with it. I did a shoulder press and it felt perfectly fine. Didn't really hurt, but just want to see how everything feels. But for back, that's going to be a tricky one to do that tomorrow. But by tomorrow, this should feel a little bit better because already I can move my neck a little more than I did yesterday. So I bet by tomorrow it should feel almost 100%. Not 100, maybe like 95, 90, maybe 80-ish. But, But that's not an excuse for me not to at least hit biceps tomorrow. Or me to hit like forearms with it, abs. I can still do things, right? If I have to take a break from doing like anything really heavy, that's fine too. I can go really light today. I can go really light for the next week, but it's just I can do more squeezing movements. I can get a great pump still, So there's no excuse in hitting whatever I need to. Unless you're fully paralyzed. Then there's a little bit of an excuse, right? But just like kind of like a tricky kink in, your body you can work around, that's fine. Like Tom Platz, for when he tore his bicep, he literally was training with a torn bicep. And he had to call up Mike Mincer about the Nautilus machines and get a good workout so he doesn't abuse his biceps. And he did. And that's with a torn bicep. Mine is just like a kink in my neck. So, I can deal with it. Just ice it and then, put some heat on it and all that kind of stuff. Warm up more often and stuff. Because the only problem I did yesterday was when I went to go re-rack, I put my neck forward. And like hyperextended it in a really awkward position. So, just is what it is. So, but for training today, we will, like I said, do flies, just see how a pressing movement feels. I might just do a flies today. I don't know. I might do a pressing movement, but I don't really know which one I want to do if I am going to do one. Triceps, same as usual. Press downs, obviously, with the easy bar. And kind of just figure out, like, what I want to do for triceps, which is mainly, like I said, easy bar push downs, a rope pull down, and something overhead, probably maybe like a rope overhead, something. I don't know. I'll figure it out at the gym. But other than that, man, I mean, there's nothing more much I want to say. I got everything out, and honestly, surprisingly, I'm not in a rush today. I don't have to go to work in 3 hours. I work in like 4.5, 5, but that's like substantially more time than I usually have for a lift. So I can lift for 2 hours today if I really wanted to, but to be honest, it's probably going to be a really short workout, like a 45-hour workout. So, and that is completely fine. A lot of folks, they think that they have to be in the gym for 3+ hours a day. It's not the circumstance at all. If you're honestly working your butt off in the gym for more than 2 hours, you're more likely not really doing anything. You're probably honestly contradicting yourself by doing that, because you're doing a little too much probably. Or maybe you're not doing enough, personally. Because if you're in the gym for more than 2.5 hours, even more, I think, than an hour and 40 minutes, you're kind of just wasting your time, right? Unless you're in there, like, talking, which goes and, coexist with kind of, wasting your time. So, I'm not saying don't talk and don't socialize with people. If you see people in there that talk to them. But, obviously respect your own time, because your time is the most important thing. One of the most important things. But we're going to get in there.
Alright, so first we're going to be hitting the mid-pec. We're going to be doing a fly. And don't be afraid for the last couple reps, not the beginning reps, for the last couple. Kind of to break your form a little bit, kind of lean forward in the pad, just to mainly hit more of the upper pec when you do this. But like I said, it's more just like the last couple, just to make it a little easier, because you're also hitting your front delts a lot when you do this. So retract your shoulder blades when you're doing this to hit the chest as much as you can, and kind of go a little light. But I trained around the 8 to 11 rep range, doing 3 sets today. Next, we're hitting the upper chest now. We're training around the 6 to 12 rep range. We did 2 sets of this today. Again, I trained light today just because of my neck, but mainly what I would say on a normal day, train moderately heavy. But main thing is do slow on the way down so you get a better stretch, and contract your chest and squeeze as much as you can at the top. Now we're hitting our triceps. Train these as per usual today. Train heavy with these. Train around the 5-12 rep range. I did 3 sets today. And make sure when you're going to failure, you do some partials at the end. Make sure you're keeping your elbows in and squeeze at the bottom. Go slow on the way up to get a bit of contraction for the stretch. Now the tricep rope push down is better, I think, for more just like a pump, so go a little lighter for these. But this was just one of my more working sets today, so I did 3 sets of this today, and I trained around the 10 to 12 reps still. But mainly go a little lighter for these so you can pull your hands out rather than just keep going in, because the in part is easier than going out with your hands, if that makes any sense. But go slow on the way up and explode on the way down. I trained 3 sets of these today as well. Now we have the Cybex chest press machine. just a really good for a pump. I did a set going 14 reps for this set. Just make sure you keep your elbows in the top range of motion, and almost like a stretch, not a stretch, but a fly kind of press movement at the end range of motion, which is at the very beginning.
All right, what's going on, y'all? We're done. Now, today, gotta say, my neck didn't affect me as much as I thought it would. I was able to go to failure on my pec deck. Obviously, I wasn't going as heavy today, so triceps I went as heavy as I usually do, and I was able to do same amount of weight, so I'm not mad about that. I probably could have pushed myself a bit more, but the only thing I was scared about was like if my form got a little like too bad roughly, I was scared something might happen where I go like forward my neck or something. Just even like that movement right there, kind of like, I want to just pop my neck, but that's the one thing that they say not to do when your neck's like this, is to pop it, because like even though it might feel good right then and there, after like 30 seconds you might get headaches, or you just get pains and aches. Also, that's what my girl told me when she had like neck problems like this, and she popped her neck. It always gave her headaches and stuff. So not gonna do that. But on terms, what I am gonna tell you is the lift was pretty good. Pump, it was so-so, but the thing is, I'm looking really good, and I gained weight somehow, right? But I guess it's all good weight, right? Because I donate plasma, and I weighed 4 pounds more than I did last time, but I look almost as lean or even leaner, I think. But I'm telling you guys this when I didn't show you the pump, but I'll start showing you guys the pump sometime soon. But I'm just feeling good, man. I feel like I look great. I feel great. That's the one thing about bulking, is a lot of times if you don't take it too far, you look great and you feel great. But then there's taking it too far with how much you weigh, how much you're eating in a day, all kinds of factors, right? And you don't want to, with the bulk, you don't want to overdo it. Same with the cut, unless it's competition reasons, then don't overdo it. Same with the bulk, I guess. I guess you can put in the same aspects of getting too far in the bulk or too far in the cut. But, just make sure you're doing what you can to mitigate the kind of cons from the pros of doing both, right? Because cons of like cutting would be low energy, low energy, and then just all like you're weaker, and you don't look as good, I guess. And there's some more cons to it, but and the cons to bulking would be like you're plateauing and all you're doing is gaining fat, and then you have to burn more fat when you're trying to cut, which is going to take a longer cut, which means less muscle mass. And there's other things, but it's mainly the add-on fat thing with the cons with the bulk. So, but I think personally there's less cons to bulking than there is to cutting. The main pro for cutting is you look better, right? The main pro for bulking is you're stronger. And personally, I think I look better bulked up, right? Because I'm eating more carbs, so my veins are popping out more, right? The only time when you're looking really good on your cut, obviously you're looking good, I think, a lot of times, but at the same time, it's like when you're carved up. So, But on terms of lifting, though, for injuries and stuff, like I said in the beginning, listen to your body as much as you can, right? But at the same time, see what you can do, right? On my neck injury, I could have easily was like, okay, let's just take a couple rest days now. I think a rest day will do me justice, honestly. And it might have. But I did what I did. That's a horrible spot to be. Dude, they're taking up the whole, thing, holy crap. It's a big truck, or semi. But the whole point is, what I'm trying to say, let me get back to what I was saying, because I lost my train of thought. See what you can do, right? Don't just take a rest day. And now, like I said, unless you're in excruciating pain, right? There was, a couple times where, my lower back from doing deadlifts or just something, my whole back just shot. And every time I would get up, my lower back would hurt. I barely could get up. And there was a time where I called off work one day because my lower back was so messed up. Like, I got out of bed to go to the bathroom at like 4 a.m. in the morning, and I just slept on it wrong, I'm pretty sure. But I slept out, I got out of bed, and from the pain so much, because it was either I peed myself in bed, or I get up and go to the bathroom, which is what I did, but I almost passed out from the amount of pain I was in. Dude, it was crazy. Like, I needed 20 painkillers right then and there to get to the bathroom. But I got to the bathroom, almost passed out, and then almost passed out going to my bed again and sleeping. So it was horrible. Like, I was in pain. So that's a little different, you know. Don't kill yourself, you know. Because if you're having a hard time going to the bathroom, it's probably something that you should take a rest on. But something like I had today, like my neck has a little kink, and I just hyperextended it a little bit. I can't look fully to the left or right or up and down quite yet, but it's enough where I can do my pressing movements and my tricep extensions and all that just fine. So take it as you wish. I'm only one lifter, so don't take my full advice on that. But what I can say is just push yourself as much as you can. I have like a sneeze coming on. It's like right in there. It's like kind of killing me, man. But I'm trying to sneeze if I can. But on terms of just like being smart about what you're doing, you reasonably know what you can do, right? You know how much you can really push yourself on a day-to-day basis, depending on how you feel, roughly. Not to the 100% to a T, but a good kind of indicator also, and this isn't just even injuries, this is kind of just in general strength. Get like a gripper like this. This one's really light, but Sam Sulek, I figured this out from him. I don't know what it is. It's like neurological, but see, today is like this. This is always pretty easy for the most part, but then it's good. Like, see, I'm all warmed up and stuff, so this is easier than usual. But on a day where you're just fresh before you go into the gym, try like a little squeezer and do it each day. And if one day it's kind of harder than usual, you might be weaker than usual. But that's just kind of like a general kind of thing, you know. I don't exactly know how that works, but you know, you can kind of get it to a T of where, yeah, this is how strong I'm going to be today. But now I'm going to go to Costco, go to Walmart, get my groceries, and that will be it for me today other than working. But let me know if you guys want to see me do a grocery trip. I know I don't really do a whole lot of other videos outside of the gym videos. I know you've seen me do like one vlog with my girl, and we went to Brown County, that was so fun. I don't know how many of you guys actually seen that though, because it was heavily copyrighted, because we put a bunch of music in the video, and it turned out better that way, because if there was no music in the video, it would just been, I don't want to say trash, but it would have been a lot worse than it actually was. But that was a fun video to make. Yeah, just kind of send down comments in below and just let me know kind of like what you guys want to see also, like any vlogs, anything else, like I said, grocery trips, anything else, just like a day of life, maybe what I eat in a day or stuff like that. But other than that, I have nothing else to say to you guys. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Stay blessed up, y'all. Train hard, train heavy, and go through life living through your dreams. Bye-bye.